Check. Microphone check. We coming in clear. So, today is the day we're going to try out this English wheel. I did a lot of cleaning. Look at that corner.
Wow.
Yep, dusted off everything. One of the things, so I got a one-day lesson from a English wheel pro, aficionado type guy. And he said, clean, clean, clean. Because if you got any dirt or impurities on your material, then it's going to affect your work, right? So we're in the middle of the desert. It's not going to be perfect, but I cleaned up those wheels as best as I could, took any grit, dust, oil off of this material and the wheels. And I have a feeling once we start working, you're going to hear the little crunchies that I was experiencing yesterday when I started messing around with the passenger side hump. So yeah, this is where a proper coach builder will get a real kick out of what I'm about to attempt. But I think we're going to get some results. So yeah, we're going to try to form this. I got a couple ideas, but our friend Rick Gansberger, we'll try to put a link to his stuff. He does cast aluminum. He does a lot of stuff, but cast aluminum is one of his specialties. And we were talking about the windshield for this, and he had the remaining parts. He made molds. Years ago, I was making these windshields for hot rods, roadsters, and it was based off of the Auburn kit car windshield. So this piece, center, was one I mentioned that we had started to make molds of. And Rick had gone further, or farther, and prepped these out to a perfect fit. They've got like a coat of high build primer on them because they shrink a little bit when you cast them, etc. So these are prepped. They come in they used to come in a 2-piece or 3-piece style that you would assemble yourself. This fits on a Model T, right? You would shorten it a little bit to the cowl width, but that's a pretty groovy windshield, no?
Mm-hmm.
And then for the Cadillac, I haven't even tried this yet. We might have to extend it because it's such a big car. But look, it fits the curve of the cowl just about perfect.
Ooh.
Let's see. It's considerably wider. So that's what I'm saying. I think this has got some potential. That's a pretty cool look though, huh?
I like it.
Yeah, so thank you for mailing this back, Rick.
Thank you, Rick.
And we might work with the aluminum if he makes more. He's definitely set up for it. Or we're gonna use this bronze one if we run out of time. But speaking of time, we're not in a rush to do anything.
Can we just address some of the comments? We're not complaining, but
we never finish anything.
we just want to talk about a few things.
If you bring your car to a shop, of course, everybody wants their stuff done right now, right? But this isn't that workshop. We're doing what we want.
And look at this workshop.
We're having a pretty good time at it too. So this is in comparison to a hobby shop. Your average cat in his little garage with minimal tooling.
It's little in here, all right.
Some guys, I get messages, yeah, I've been working on my car for 10 years. I don't think it'll ever get done. It's like, well, are you learning something? Are you enjoying the process of creating? I mean, I don't know. Some people want to show up at the car show in their lawn chair and just take it all in because their car's done. And that's cool, but I like building stuff. I don't have the patience to sit at the car show all day. Jamie's Jeep is still on hold.
It's because of the starter, because of the pieces that we get, and they're not the right piece, so then we have to send it back. And the Mojave, I just got to say this about the Mojave post office. So you guys, Amazon does not deliver to our house, okay? We order a lot of stuff.
Delivering to our house.
So they deliver it to the post office, but guess what is not open all the time?
Our post office has an attitude. Sometimes you walk in there, it's just shut. You're barred from entrance.
There's nothing going on.
And there's no schedule that even provides. There's no way of knowing until you go, all the way over there.
Literally.
So Rick had these in the mailbox on Saturday, and here we are on Thursday, and I just got them
You had
yesterday.
to go to the door and ring the door. Well, the first time around, you went to the
There's nobody
door
at the teller.
and they weren't answering.
Yeah, there's a
And
line of people ringing the bell. Can we get our stuff?
so that's why some of these projects take time. Ian on the show, on the television
I was a
show,
madman.
he would have sometimes 5 projects going all at once. But they don't show you that. They show you the easy peasy part. So those of you that are over there hating on us, like lay off.
You gotta wait for it.
Seriously, like we're not doing this to milk for views or whatever some people are thinking. It's just one other project that I know some people have asked about. Whatever, be honest. The dune buggy that you were building for yourself, what did you have to do with that dune buggy?
What's
That
over there?
why is it not running?
So Barry, our great friend Barry, built an awesome engine for it.
He did.
And here I am with the TV show, out of money, out of time, gotta drive it. I took the buggy engine and put it in the Starlux car so we could drive it. And then there it is.
And we had to sell the Starlux
We had to
because we
sell
got
the
to pay the
car.
bills, man.
We needed the money. Hey,
Right. It's true. So this is our reality. So those of you that are sending me entire paragraphs,
our dune buggy is sitting over there with no engine, untouched.
and
Because I had to use the weed whacker for 3 weeks so far.
like enjoy the process. Ian is getting on the English wheel. I never thought I'd see this day.
Okay, so one thing. This panel is very big for a beginner like myself, and I was messing around with the other side, and what I'm finding is there's so much pull. If you don't hold it properly, it kinks the material a little bit, but I don't think that's going to be a deal breaker for us. Let's look at the other piece that I worked on. You see it's starting to get some crown this way, and it's definitely got it this way. So what I was thinking, again, this is where the coach builders will have the proper answer, but I want it to be kind of like this way, with a little curve into the trunk, and then obviously a curve over the fender, right? So you can see the lines, they're kind of working in this direction, but I want to crown it the highest right through the middle and then fade it down a little bit. So the fellow who gave me the lesson, he said, the English wheel is a hammer. Think of it as a hammer. Like it's pushing, even though it's smooth and da da da. It's just consider just ding 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 ding. Like that's what it's doing, but in a much smoother fashion. So treat this as you would want to bulge out a panel if you're just using, a mallet to try to create some shape in there. So that's kind of what I was doing. I was putting like a flow, and he also said only wheel where you want the material raised or flattened if you reverse it, but only wheel where you need it. So where I need it most is through the center here because I'm trying to stretch up. I could shrink these edges if it was a really hard curve, but I'm going to try just using that wheel. This was about 10 minutes of work. So not to waste anybody's time, but let's try it for 10 minutes.
I'm gonna get creative with the music. I'm taking requests.
The circus theme here. So this is a really nice machine in comparison to what I used to use. Let's look at that right before we start. These are readily available on a number of different suppliers. See this little one? It's a little hard to see because it's become a clamp rack. So see, it's got the same shape.
Oh wow.
The wheels, this one is really rusty from sitting, but this small unit gets a lot of heat for, it'll never work from the pros, but they do offer results. But look at the size difference in this thing. I've seen the work that they accomplish on these machines, and yeah, they're building actual beautiful car bodies out of aluminum, so it's a nice one. Bunch of different wheels, different radiuses. But this one, he said, is a good all-around starter. This will be most of your panels on a vehicle this big, he said. There's a couple other attachments too, but so yeah, from my experience, I kind of put some a little something to it. And my thing here is to just kind of bring it through the halfway point. Hear how it crunches a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Even all that cleaning. So that's just dust. So in wheeling it, and it's hard to explain, but you can feel it and you can hear it, which is interesting. And the whole thing is these lines, you're trying to like overlap them just little by little to keep everything sort of in the same flow. And as it starts to work, this will become increasingly rigid. So that's where I started to have trouble yesterday, especially in starting it off, because this thing was all over the place. And you run out of room real quick with a panel this big. All right, so getting a little action in here. I'm going to tighten it up a little bit more. And then there's something he showed me about pushing the material. Like you're using your hands now. See, I'm putting a little weight here to leverage it, to give it a little more stretch as you're coming through. This is where the curve really starts. See, by pushing down here, starting to give it a little bit of action. See, now as it starts to get a little more rigid, I don't need to support it as much. Starting to take a little bit of its own shape. And there's a lot of tools to do this. Some guys have a big power hammer. There's all kinds of different stuff.
Doesn't Scotty Chops? He has a power hammer. He does some videos
Oh yeah,
and stuff.
yeah. He's top notch in his game. So again, this is me just clowning around, trying to learn something. See, it's kind of like parallel parking, right? You're just kind of running over same old ground, trying to keep it. See, we're starting to get some. And this is 20 gauge steel. If you're using aluminum, probably have to be a lot cleaner with your preparation, and any amount of dust would probably imprint the surface. This still looks pretty darn shiny. See how I'm getting all these little wobbles at the end?
Mm-hmm.
That's why the panel is bigger than I need it. See, I'm going to be cutting somewhere behind all that. So that's sort of the game. There's like a bit of waste on the end of every panel. See, this buckling is one of the difficult things. You see some pictures online of the pros making like a full roof skin or trunk skin, a deck lid, and there could be 2 or 4 guys or gals, people, operators supporting the panel. But today it's just me. Yeah, right there. Just, I don't know if your camera's picking it up, but like I just felt it stretch.
Yeah, you could hear it.
See how I stop right there?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, is how to eliminate those little dead ends. It's all about balancing the piece in the tool, I'm sure. Just trying to make this out of one piece. And again, if you know me, I'm not scared to liberally apply that filler, so that's what we got to do. So that's what the fella who showed me this said. He said, "You're not really a coach builder. You're a hot rodder. Like, you do what it takes. Not into following the rules. Learn by the word of the book." And I said, "That is correct." Yeah, I feel like I'm a little more comfortable on this side of the machine with my right hand in the front. So my martial arts experience, this is always how I'll approach the opponent.
Your high position.
This is my high hand. So we get some curve. Tighten this a little more. And I don't really know how far you're meant to tighten. Maybe till it breaks. Hopefully it don't. It's funny, on the TV show, even in the first DVD, I'd tell all these false stories, and it just entertained me while doing mundane things. So some people thought I was a Marine, some people thought I was a Vietnam vet, and now, you know, I may be a martial arts expert. Actually, just a guy in a workshop with a bit of imagination. No disrespect to our veterans. All right, look at that. We're getting a nice dish out of the end here. All right, let's put it on the car, see how we're progressing. Yeah, look at that. Definitely floppy, but he also said never hesitate to use the hand, right? So if you put it on here and you're seeing something that you don't like, feel free to do that, is what he told me. So that helped. Yeah. Starting to come into some state of assemblage. That's almost cool, huh?
Looks really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that one on there because this one came out way better. Like they say, practice makes better, right? This one's nicer than that one.
Practice makes better.
Yeah, doesn't make perfection.
Just makes better.
Just makes it better in this shop. I was getting a lot of those little kinks yesterday, so I'm gonna try to work through that, smooth them all out. Bill, that's his name, Bill Longyard. Sorry, sir, I get so many names confused in my head, but that's the fella who gave me the lesson. Sir William Longyard. Work on a little more attitude in this end. Yeah, just like the other one, you hear that just kind of took. You just start to really curve it right now. All right, so I got most of those weird bubbles out of it. I'm gonna rotate this once more around. Oh yeah, this is definitely curved now. It's starting to look like a fender. And I think, but I'm not sure, is once this die achieves what it can with the radius that's finished on it, you'll be hard pressed to make it curve more. You have to change the wheel, I think.
Do you have different wheels for it?
Yeah, there's a whole little rack of stuff. He's got this cool little rubber tire that goes on the top, so you can use it almost as like a bead roller. Pretty interesting. All the things they do with these tools. Yeah. Good. Yeah, I can really feel the tension right there. And man, when you see a pro take their finished piece off of this tool, it's amazing. It just looks like a perfect mirror finished panel. And this, you can see all the different striations from where I've been working. Let me just set this on the other front fender like I did. Don't that look like a fender? I think we're definitely getting somewhere. Victor sent me a picture of how he was thinking the tail would come together. And I think that's what I want to do here. It just looks so flat.
Yeah.
These are a good start, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
I'm lucking out today. I think for now we have again, good starting point on that. But I want to go back to this shape because I just stuck this on. I wanted him to see it. I sent him some pictures. He's like, yeah, still needs something, but you're getting somewhere. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Look at it laid on the front. It looks like a car part. So what I want to do with this, I want to cut it through the center. Not 100%, but very close. And I want to bring the center up. In a perfect world, if this thing was clay, I would just take this panel and go and just pull it right up into a peak. But this isn't clay. This is steel. So I'm going to have to cut through and then overlap it. So at the cut, I'm going to have to do this for now. Bring this in, which will raise up the center. Just like we're seeing on the fenders. So, put this through here. We got 64, so half of 64 is 32. Just double check that, 32 there. A little bit. Come up here, safe on that hole. We got 68 and a half, so that's 34 and a quarter. There. Yeah. Let's cut through this.
Whoa.
Get a live one. So what I was just doing here, I don't know if you'll ever get that with the camera. Brooks and I used to do this a lot for the envisioning. I'm going to move this over because actually sometimes your ichrometer is better than any micrometer. See this line here?
Yes.
I'm going to get behind the camera. I'll raise up, 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 up. See the white line?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to nail it straight down the center of the hood
Ah,
with the envisioning stick. Can you dig it? That's
yes.
got to be the line. Prepare to cut. Let me grab some protection.
Pull your skinny jeans up.
Hmm?
Pull your skinny jeans up.
Protection. Well, that looks like exactly the opposite of what we were trying to accomplish. We take this, move it in there, like that. Starting to see something. I like that. I really like that. But I like it more right about there. This has got to come down. We got to cut way in. Let me put a clamp on this before we mess everything. It should be a doll. There's a clamp right there. If I let this go, it's going to dent.
You want me to help?
Please. Right next to the vise.
Here you go, doctor.
Thank you, nurse. Much obliged. You're going to take the snippers and I'll put some shear factor in there. That laid it down. Use this as the gauge on this side. Yeah, it's definitely too pointy, but this helped. It's definitely helped. I like this. I like how it really comes up. Let me get this out of the way. This tube definitely interfering. See, this side's over. This business here is in my way. I have to get a big old saw. Crisis averted.
Good job.
Thank you, nurse. Saving lives is just what we do here. All right. So, let's see. Definitely like that thing. I think I'm going to measure another straight line and go straight through. Man, I know Victor's so good. He's going to be like, I love it. I love it. It's just too high right there. You know what, Victor? I got to agree with you.
I have to agree with him as well.
Because he's got an eye for that stuff.
Yeah.
Like you and I, we read each other's minds so regularly now, it's kind of scary.
Who reads whose minds?
You and I.
Oh, yeah.
Me and Victor are kind of like the same way after working all this time. It's like, dude, I know.
It's true.
I hear you.
Ian and I are like, I would say Ian and I spend 24 hours a day together, except when he's out back weed whacking.
Here's a tissue. You got to sneeze. A little tension. But I also know Victor too, where he's just like, this is cool, but we're gonna have to enhance. We're gonna have to come up with something. So let's just see what he says. I'm gonna mark this new center. Cut it again. Let me go 30 here. Let me go. How is that 34? Oh, because this cut is folded over. That's why. Okay, my mistake. We need, let's do 32. I'm going to say 33 by my eye. 32 and a half for the center. Yeah, it's just way misleading because that's folded over. 32 and a half. 32 and a half. And we know that that hasn't changed. Somewhere in there. A little hard to see on the camera. Yeah, but eyeballs are everything, and I'm seeing it works.
Was that your good eye?
Oh, look at that. That gives it a bit of a shape. How do you feel about that?
Yes, I like it better than before.
I like this. I feel like it could be a little rounder through here. How we'd accomplish that is saw in this way and do the same pinch, bring that down. But I'm seeing that probably happening right where these braces are, right through here. So I think I'm gonna weld this together here. I have to do a bunch of cleanup. Let me clean this up a bit. I'm gonna attack this. Just take a break for a minute. You got birds in the workshop. Bats in the belfry, birds in the workshop. Full nature experience. There they are right there. Want me to hold the camera?
Yeah. Their mommy is locked out right now and they're upset.
She's not locked out. The door's open. She's just being timid.
Yeah. Aww. They got all quiet. They got quiet. They're like, oh my God.
They're like, that's not the food.
Aww. They're on YouTube now.
All right, so there's these little tools that will set up that weld joint for you. It's like a little clamp thing. Gambino Customs was selling them for a while. A few other people have them. It's like a cool little thing you put inside and it holds it together. But I'll use a razor blade or a sawzall blade because I don't have those. What I'm needing to do is get these panels set up in their proper orientation. So actually, I can just push that one right there. That would be one for the blooper reels, but I know that's going live.
That's not going on no blooper reel.
Yeah, so see, I want this one up. I don't want to keep pushing it down. So I'm gonna use that big magnet right here and try to pull it up. See how I'm able to just lift it? I have to come in here with the grinder, cut this open a little more to bring this up just to here, and then we're going to start with some slicing. Okay, so looks cool. I want to try to wrap that down a bit because Victor was saying he wanted, these fenders to hang out. Let me cut these out. I'm gonna try to drop this whole thing down. Here, she's back.
Aww. She's like, see, I'm back.
Yeah, just kind of setting that up until it doesn't touch anything. Just kind of floating. See what happens here. That. This could work. That looks very much like Victor's 41 Zephyr trunk. And this isn't the end. We got a whole different look for that, but I like this. I like the way that this. And it's definitely too segmented right here, but that'll just be a simple cut with the wheel. You try to pull this together with the magnet. Yeah, you got these two harsh spots, but this I can cut and that'll bring that down. I just get this lower portion connected right there. Yeah, that'll work. This is one of those classic moments where people will lose control of the death wheel because there's a lot of tension in there. So use caution because it could trap that. See how it's just falling in on itself? That's adjusting that hard pitch right here. These panels I got away easy because they were fairly agreeable on the initial layup, but now you can put this in here. Oh. You can do this. See that? And just hold it. But that's still way too tall. That's still a little proud right here. I like how this turns down. So what Victor's wanting to see, now I'll bring up the spoiler. This is just a quick start on these things. I do a lot more work here. Might end up making new ones of these. I don't know if it'll help if this comes through to here. Something to be considering though. Definitely starting to get a shape here, but it's going to look too bulky if this fender, you know what I'm saying? That is kind of the boat tail look where that comes in. But let me do this. I got this picture from Victor.
So is it supposed to curve like that?
No, that was me working out that big dimple in the top. So what it's going to have in the end, he wants peaks. See the peak of the hood?
Mm-hmm.
So this is just going to represent that peak.
Ah,
This gets
okay.
welded right through, however straight that is. So yeah,
I see what you're saying.
a little shilly shally.
Thanks for answering my question.
So he showed me this, which I really liked.
Ooh, yeah.
So it doesn't come flat down to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of has that shape.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I think since we have these fenders started, and in looking at it, you can see it's similar to what we're creating now, where it comes to the fender and then up. See, this is much more pronounced, this
Mm-hmm.
dip. This dip. So it's kind of our height there. We might make 2 new ones of these. I'm going to talk to him about it because we could just kind of find our spot here, come out. I'm unsure. That's why we don't finish cars in an hour. I'm going to consider the tail end of this, but we definitely have more of a, it's starting to look more bulged. That first layout was very flat. So I'm going to get in here and trim these out, work on this a little bit, and I'm going to consult with Victor and see. But we're getting something. This is definitely more better.
Little by little.
Yeah. Yeah, and in the end too, I could just scribe a straight line, but that was what we ended up with here was that big, it had that big knob sticking up. So just kind of working through that with the grinder and getting it to draw down. And it's still a little pronounced here, but yeah, that's where we're at, trying to create a center and get that thing even more dimensional than it was. But now we're hitting the ground. We're in a position to be much closer to the front of the car so the fenders hang out. So yeah. Yeah, and then this image, it shows the fenders hanging out, but
Mm-hmm.
not a great amount. It's that dip between the fender and the little tail section. I really like that too.
Yeah, it's super cool.
But yeah, I'm going to clean up some of this mess, play around with some ideas. I think we're going to go pretty much straight through on this. We might flip-flop back and forth a little bit, but we're not going to finish. We're going to get it out the door. Okay? See what develops.